What is going on, everybody? It's time to talk double standards, because of course that exists since the beginning of the internet when it comes to professional boxing and the boxing community that follows professional boxing. Now, let's go ahead and switch over to my face real quick. What is going on, everybody? I had to put the "Let's Go" chant for you, Hashim, because something happened. Like the internet disconnected and reconnected, and your chat was gone. So hopefully, you don't feel bad, but I wrote it for you because I still want to keep the flow going. So thank you again, Hashim, who actually originally posted this when the stream was public and available. Yes, let's go, champion. Of course, we got to start off with the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get ready to rumble is right, because now we got to talk about boxing's favorite thing. Double standards when it comes to different boxers. Hey, look, see that boxer over there? I like him. So everything he's doing, he's on the right track. Oh, you see that boxer over there? I don't like him. So everything that he's doing, he's on the wrong track. That's the vibe that I get from everybody when it comes to fighters they like and fighters they don't like. Why is there a double standard for these fighters? Now, Jerome Boots Ennis just had his fight with Vila, and boy, was he flashy. He was like, my goodness. My man was doing anything he wanted in there. He was playing around. He was jumping he was basically like spinning around, Euro stepping, just reacting to punches, predicting punches, and reacting to punches all in real time. The man is an incredible talent when he's in that ring. And kudos to him. I mean, he really showed up and showed out. But I want to know what's making it so that he should fight the winner of Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr., or that he should be fighting Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence Jr. I want to know. I want to know, guys. I want you guys to tell me. What makes it that Jerome Boots Ennis should be fighting Errol Spence. He's at 147, right? He's at the welterweight division. That division is always lit. Every era, the welterweight division is always the lit era that stays consistently lit, and Jerome Boots Ennis is in that division. But I want to know what makes it so that Jerome Boots Ennis is ready to fight Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. I want you guys' thoughts. Nate with We Are Live. Yes, sir, we are live. Boxing Fanatico episode 33. We've made it. All right, so Boss Red 357 says he is the number one mandatory for the IBF. He is the number one mandatory for the IBF. Okay, cool. Anybody else? No contender get bare Boots and will not fight Boots because they are all scared. Okay, so everybody's scared. So Boots is the one that's trying to make the fights, but everybody's scared. Okay. All right. Boots could beat Spence, but not Crawford. Okay. So he's ready for Spence, but he's not ready for Crawford. Is that what you're trying to say? So here's my thing, right? First of all, I love Boots Ennis, right? This is not even a knock on Boots Ennis at all, because I absolutely love Boots Ennis. I love the way he fights. I love his Like, he brings the flair, right, to the fight, and it's just amazing to see. So it's visually appealing, but then you know that the only reason it's visually appealing is because he's so much in control. He's so much in the zone when he's fighting, and he's so technically good, especially with his punch selection and punch variety, right? So that allows him to be kind of flexible in there and play, right? Like Roy Jones used to play. he's able to play because he has so much control over what's going on. But here's my thing. Why is it that everybody's calling for Jerron Boots Ennis, and everybody's like, man, you ready to go, man. You ready for Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. But when it comes to Shakur Stevenson, people are saying, who has he fought? Why are people saying, who has Shakur Stevenson fought? I want you guys to tell me. I want to hear from the chat, basically, what you guys think when it comes to that notion. Shakur Stevenson, it's like he shouldn't be asking for fights, or he should be taking whatever they give him. If they give him 1% of the purse, he should be taking that, because he ain't fought nobody at 135. He ain't fought nobody at 135. So like he can't say nothing or do nothing. He just gotta wait till they do things for him. But Boots could call out people and want to fight them, and it's all good. He's ready to fight those guys. So I want to know, what's the difference? What is the difference between the two? Please let me know. Boots loses to both Spence and Bud. Adrian Dones, that's what Adrian Dones said. Boots is ready for the big names. Okay. Boots versus Crowley should be next. I think he needs to just coast and don't rush. Belts will be available. Okay. I want to see Devitt versus Shakur. Shakur is ready for these guys. Okay. Guys. All right. So in your opinion, he should be rewarded an undisputed fight for losing his belts on the scale. Huh? What? He should be rewarded an undisputed fight for losing his belts on the scale. He didn't lose the belts that he's trying to fight for on the scale. What are you talking about? He made 135 in his last fight. What are you talking about? I mean, if you just could go to the past and just pick anything from the past, then you could just do that for anybody. You could do that for any fighter, right? Benavidez, he missed weight and he lost his belt on the scales. He shouldn't be fighting. Canelo Alvarez for undisputed. He lost it way back, but he shouldn't be fighting for undisputed because he lost his belts on the scale. Right? Detroit native? Right? That's how it works, right? It's that easy. It's that so you don't gotta think about it. You don't gotta put thought for what? Just look at, did he lose his belts on the scale? Yes. So he doesn't deserve anything. He should retire. He should retire young. That is a false narrative that Shakur hasn't fought anyone. Shakur is ready for anyone at 135. Now, here's the thing. Shakur could fight for undisputed right now. Why? Because he's proven that he's able to do it. He's proven that he could fight at the highest level. Because he's won world titles. He's won the official belts at different divisions. Right? So hold on. Let me see something. Hold on. Boss Red, Shakur should have made weight in his last fight at 130, and he could have mandated his spot as the WBO champion when he decided to move up. However, he was still given the number 3 spot. Even though he didn't keep his belts. And I am not sure if... Oh, for the WBO. Okay. Yeah. Sure, he could have done that. But that doesn't matter. Even if he was mandatory, they still could have given him a 25% offer. So he would have still been in the same position he is right now. Being mandatory doesn't change the negotiation process. They'll say, yeah, sure, I'll make the fight or whatever, but let's go. And also, undisputed, the fighting for undisputed trumps all of this mandatory stuff anyways. And it's almost a get out of jail free card when you collect all the belts. It's almost a get out of jail free card. Because Devin Haney, if he wants, he could rematch Lomachenko. If he wanted to. But here's my thing. The thing that I'm trying to argue is this. Okay, my man said you could tell who's really been paying attention, who has it. Shakur was moving up, so there was no reason to get back on the scale and try to make weight last minute. Yeah, I mean, it's unprofessional to not make weight. I 100% agree with that. He should have definitely made weight. I didn't agree with the fact that he didn't make weight. Now, should he be condemned for the rest of his life because of that? No, the same way we're not condemning Benavidez is the same way we shouldn't be condemning Shakur Stevenson, or at the same level of condemnation, right? But here's my thing. When people say that Shakur ain't done nothing, who has he fought? But Jerome Boots Ennis, those same fans are saying that Jerome Boots Ennis, he should be calling these guys out and he should be ready to fight these guys. Jerome Boots Ennis hasn't fought anybody either. Jerome Boots Ennis hasn't fought anybody either. And you know how I know? Because we have historical information. Like, we have the information. We've seen his fights, but we've also have the information. He was fighting people ranked 40 in the world. He was fighting people ranked 40 in the world. Ranked 47 in the world. His last fight was the highest ranked fighter, which was Vila, and he was ranked 10 in the world. Shakur been fighting people ranked 1 and 2. And his last fight with Yoshi, he was ranked number 10. The highest level that Boots Ennis has gone to. Now, and if you guys don't, like if you guys don't think that what I'm saying is true, that's why I love stuff like BoxRec, because they kind of historically put everything together for you. So let's switch over real quick to picture in picture. And we'll look at Jerome Boots Ennis. He's 31-0 with 28 KOs, which is awesome. But Vila is literally one of his best fights, right? One of his best fights. All these other fighters here, they're not high level. They're not super high level. None of these fights are super high level. None of them. He's ranked 3rd, okay. But if we look at, and he's 26, by the way, so he's the same age as Shakur Stevenson. So if we look at Shakur Stevenson is ranked number 2 in the world. He's ranked number 2. I wonder who's number 1 at 135 for Shakur Stevenson. Let's go ahead and click that real quick. Okay, so in terms of the rankings and the way that BoxRec takes the actual appropriation of the types of fights you've had and the difficulty of the fights, they have Gervonta Tank Davis above Shakur Stevenson, then they have Shakur Stevenson, and then they have Devin Haney, and then they have Vasily Lomachenko, and then Frank Martin. That's how they have it situated on BoxRec using the star system. Using the star system in terms of the importance of the fight. And here's one thing that I would say. A lot of people are like, oh no, but you see how he fights. He can knock people out. So that proves that he's better because he's knocking people out. But Shakur Stevenson isn't knocking people out. And he's flashy, which means he could do whatever he wants. And he's nice in there. So he needs that challenge so that he could, okay, cool. Sometimes people are really good and they don't do the flashy stuff, right? Floyd Mayweather was really good, but he ain't do the flashy stuff. You know who was really good and did this flashy stuff? You know who was really good and did the flashy stuff? My man's Prince Nassim Hamed. He was flashy, real smooth in the ring, did whatever he want, knocked out dang near everybody. But when he came up against Marco Antonio Barrera, for the IBO featherweight, the vacant title, he lost. So when he came up against a much more difficult challenge, he lost. When he came up to a much more difficult challenge, he lost, right? And that's not to say that will happen to Jerome Boots Ennis. All I'm saying is that we can't use the fact that somebody's flashy. Because sometimes being flashy, right, that could trick you to think that the person is of otherworldly in terms of his skill. And he might be, but we have to see him fight somebody within the top 10. Not from the top 10 being the highest that you go, within the top 10 to see if he actually has that flash. For example, Teofimo Lopez doing what he did to Josh Taylor is incredibly impressive because that's Josh Taylor that he did that to. For Teofimo Lopez to outbox Lomachenko is incredibly impressive because that's Lomachenko that he did that to. And once again, I'm not saying this to discredit Jerron Boost Ennis, because I think Jerron Boost Ennis is amazing. I like Jerron Boost Ennis. I appreciate his style. I think it's super entertaining, and I want to see him with the best. And hold up, it looks like we got Love C Shorty with the $5 super chat. Okay, hold on. Let me switch over real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Michael Buff, I'm sorry. We got to stop that real quick because we got to look at this. My man said, here's an excuse to use the air horns. All right, hold up. The $5 super chat. We got to put the $5 super chat on here real quick. Oh, my goodness. It always amazes me every time I see it. He's out cold. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you. Shakur has fought better opposition in his weight class. Boost is a beast, but he hasn't fought anyone worth noting. Yes. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. You can't sit here and in one breath say Boots Ennis is ready for Terrence Crawford and all of them guys, but Shakur, who has he fought? You can't say that when Shakur has actually fought better guys. And when he fought at 135, the only time he's fought, which is the recent fight with Yoshino, he was ranked 10, which is what Vila is ranked at 147. So why is there a double standard? Why should Boots Ennis be afforded the ability to go and fight them, and he's ready for them, but Shakur Stevenson is not ready for a Devin Haney. He's not ready for a Tank. He's not ready for all these guys. And then on top of all of that, when he calls people out, he's considered to be begging them for fights. He just recently started calling out Lomachenko. Now everybody's like, look at you. You're begging for a fight. You're begging for a fight. How is he begging to fight? I don't get it. Don't you want him to fight somebody? It's like you create a catch-22 so that the dude can't even increase his career in any way, shape, or form. It's like, they offering you 4% of the revenue. Take it. If you don't take it, you're ducking. Plus, you haven't fought anybody. Now you calling out Lomachenko? You're begging. I just want to know what move can he do that makes sense for you guys and will put him in line with how you feel about other fighters. Once again, no shot at Jerron Boost Ennis. I think he's an amazing fighter. I love Jerron Boost Ennis. I love his style. I love seeing him fight. But to me, Shakur Stevenson, although he just got to 135, his full body of work is much more impressive than Jerron Boost Ennis. Much more impressive. All right, let me see what you guys have to say. Hold on. That's a fact. All right. I was just saying Frank Martin deserves that spot. Shakur was granted. He'd been at 135 longer, and Rivera was ranked higher than Yoshi. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's also a money thing too, right? Money talks. Even if you want to look at it through the politics of the money, Shakur brings more to the table. Even in that sense, because you got to look at it through the business and through the boxing. You can't I feel like a lot of fans just look at it through the boxing and pretend that the business doesn't exist. Like it's just two guys going into the parking lot and duking it out when it isn't. You got to look at both. But even if you look at the business aspect of it, Shakur Stevenson is also more marketable. He's more marketable. My man UWU says Shakur Stins compared to Boots. What makes Shakur worse than Boots? UW Evie, what makes Shakur worse than Boots? Please tell me. Please tell me. Tell me. I want to see what's your reasoning for this? Because I love how people just be saying it and then they just hope that that's it, right? Like the no follow-up questions. How? His defense. Okay, Shakur gets hit less. So now what? Shakur gets hit less. Shakur is one of the least hit fighters in boxing right now. When you go into the CompuBox data, he gets hit less than everybody else. He's one of the only person that gets hit less than him. The only person that gets hit less than Shakur is what's this dude? Dimitri Bivol. Shakur's plus minus is like insane. Shakur barely gets hit with jabs. So he got a better defense. How? Parries and uppercuts. Okay, cool. So you trying to say he's more stylish. That's what you're trying to say. He's more stylish than Shakur. You could be more stylish than somebody. Doesn't mean that you're better than somebody. Floyd Mayweather was never stylish, but he was better than everybody. There were way more stylish people than Floyd during Floyd's reign. Once again, we could pull this up and show you. We could pull this up right here and show you what stylish look like. Let's go to picture in picture real quick. You know who else was stylish? Prince Nassim Hamed. He was stylish. But guess what? It's easy to be stylish when you're not fighting the top 1, 2, 3, 4 fighters in the world. It's easy. But once you come up against a Marco Antonio Barrera-esque fighter, not only do you not look stylish, but you look ordinary. Because that's what happened to Nassim. He didn't just go from being stylish to not being stylish but taking the win. He looked ordinary. Being stylish doesn't mean anything. Is it entertaining? Yes. Does it mean that you're better than somebody? Technically, no. Shakur has fought way better competition than Jerron Boots Ennis. I mean, the man has fought for the official belts. Jerron Boots Ennis is the interim IBF champion right now. He's fought for the interim title, while Shakur has fought for the world title in 2 divisions. Fought the number 1 person in the division when he was in each division. But somehow, because he could do uppercuts and he could do some parries, he's better. And everybody's blind because he's better than Shakur Stevenson. Right? Everybody's blind because he's better than Shakur Stevenson.
He has done it from time to time. Just get.
I don't know why these things keep playing, man. Jeez. Trust me, Boots has it all, and people are ducking my man Boots. But people are ducking Shakur Stevenson too. People are ducking Shakur Stevenson. Once again, my point is not to say that Boots is not good. It is just to say what is the double standard between Boots and Shakur Stevenson. Just because one of them is flashy versus lower level competition and the other one is completely demolishing higher level competition makes Boots have a better standing in terms of put the community pushing him towards going for either an Errol Spence or the top tier people. I want him to fight them. I'm just asking, why is he being pushed as, oh yeah, he's ready to fight them, but Shakur Stevenson hasn't done anything? That's the thing right there. People get mesmerized by KOs. People get mesmerized by KOs. And here's the thing, I'm 100. No clue why people are turning on Shakur lately. They're not turning on Shakur lately. They're not turning on him lately. They've been not liked him. But he was so good. He fought everyone. He fought Jamel Herring, Oscar Valdez. He basically fought everyone. So they couldn't say anything. They were just like, oh man, I wish he could do something so that I could jump on his neck and be like, he's not good, but I wish. What did he do? Wait, what? He didn't accept 25%? He's ducking. Come on, guys, let's get. We've been sleeping all day. Come on, let's go and start talking about how bad Shakur is. That's what happened. People didn't like Shakur. So remember when he fought what was it? Was it Nakatila? Well, Nakatila. When he fought Nakatila, he had like a bad performance because, I don't know, he didn't knock Nakatila out or whatever. He knocked him down, but he ain't knock him out. Therefore, he had a bad performance. And people jumped on that. Oh, he's boring. Yes. But then he had the fight with Jamel Herring and completely demolished him. And then everybody was like, oh, dang, now everybody be quiet. We got to wait till he slips up. And then he fought Oscar Valdez and demolished him, and it was still not a slip up. So that nobody knew what to do. And when he finally said he didn't want the 25%, that's when everybody was like, oh, this is perfect. Now we could say how much we don't like Shakur. Now we could start saying that he's a duck. I mean, when he got to 135, people were saying he ain't ready. He shouldn't get those fights because who has he fought? Meanwhile, they're looking at Boots and they're like, yo, I can't wait, man. He's ready for Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. This is the dichotomy that happens in boxing communities. This is the split between boxing communities where it's like everyone tells on themselves without even knowing because of the fact that they have double standards. People have double standards. It all just depends on, do they like a fighter or do they not like a fighter? If you don't care for the fighter, it's neither here nor there. If you actually like a fighter and you actually don't like a fighter, you'll see an incredible dichotomy between what your sentiments are for similar situations and characteristics for one fighter versus what your sentiments are for similar situations for the fighter that you do not like. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hold on. Spence and Bud know they're dead meat. Spence and Bud know they're dead meat against Boots Ennis? Is that what we're talking about right now? Boots Ennis, who the highest ranked fighter he's fought, is a person that's ranked 10th. Is that what we're talking about right now? Of course, man, you are mesmerized by the flashiness. You're just as mesmerized as people were when this gentleman was knocking people out and dancing around the ring and doing whatever he wanted. This is the cautionary tale that I'm pointing at right here. Naseem Hamed. He did whatever he wanted in that ring. Danced, did like he was doing skip to Malu. He did everything. He would flip into the ring to start the fight. He did whatever he wanted. He was knocking people out, going backwards. He was whatever he wanted. He was jumping in with uppercuts, knocking people out. He finally fought somebody of note and was completely dismantled. Not saying that will happen to him, but history has shown us that just because you could be flashy with lower tier fighters doesn't mean that carries over to the top. My man said, terrible comparison. Please tell me how this is a terrible comparison. Please, somebody in the chat, help this man out and tell me what makes this a terrible comparison. Somebody in the chat, help me find out what makes this a terrible comparison. Hugh Jakes, what's going on? Hold up, gotta hit the member button. That's our member right there. What's going on, brother? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. What's up? Naseem had terrible, risky style, got too comfortable doing dumb stuff in the ring. Yeah. But he was super reactive, super quick, cat-like reflexes, dodging all the punches. He was doing whatever he wanted in there. Just like Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis is doing whatever he wants in the ring. And so was Prince Naseem Hamed. He looked flashy and everything. Boots is technical and flashy, but you do understand that the flashiness that Naseem had comes from his technical abilities. It's like you can't do that stuff that he does without having the technical abilities that underline your ability to pull that stuff off. You do understand that, right? He's not just getting lucky for 30-something fights. He's not just doing whatever he wants and he's just getting lucky for 30-something fights. Yeah, and guess who else puts his hands down? Jerome Boots Ennis. That's like me saying, yo, Jerome Boots Ennis be moving in slow motion. The clip that's going viral, he be moving in slow motion. That's so like, why would you move in slow motion? Why are you not moving your head? Why are you going straight in slow motion towards someone? It's the same arguments I could make for the stuff that he does that's playing around in the ring. But why could he confidently move in slow motion? Why can Jerome Boots Ennis confidently move in slow motion? The reason he could confidently move in slow motion is because underneath that, he has a technical understanding of what can happen, of the risk reward between what he's doing and what can happen if it goes wrong. The same thing Prince Naseem had. You can't be that flashy without the technical abilities that underline it. That's like saying any Joe Schmo can just go in there and be flashy, and because they flashy, they're going to win 35 fights, 34 fights with no losses. I don't think Boots is flashy like Naseem. He did do the slow-mo move, but that was after Villa was already getting his butt handed to him. Would like to see him against a pound-for-pound guy in a firefight. You're comparing glass jaw Prince to a tough Philly boy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's somebody who has a glass jaw or somebody who doesn't have a glass jaw. He didn't lose because he had a glass jaw to Marco Antonio Barrera. He was completely outboxed. He was outboxed. And what does Philly have to do with it? I'm not comparing where they were born, or I'm just comparing people who were really good at fighting, so much so that they were able to play inside of there. They were able to play, and they can do things. They're technically sound, so they look flashy on screen. That's the comparison that I'm making. That's the comparison that I'm making. It doesn't matter. Zab Judah is not a better comparison. Why would Zab Judah be a better comparison? What makes Zab Judah a better comparison than Naseem Hamed? Put it this way, Ennis has an iron chin. He's unbeatable. How the heck is he? Okay, he has an iron chin. Does he get hit much, guys? Does Jerron Boots Ennis get hit much? Does he get hit much? You got to pick one. Either he's super defensive and he doesn't get hit, he can do whatever he wants, or he gets hit so much and we know he has an iron chin because he's constantly hit in his chin. I don't think we can tell if it has an iron chin and Ennis is my favorite fighter. Exactly. We can't even tell. We can't tell. We can't tell if he has an iron chin because he doesn't get hit. Because he's not fighting anybody above rank 10. He's not fighting anybody above rank 10. And on top of that, he's not getting hit. So how do we know? Now, if you have wishful thinking for him, if you wishfully think that he has everything, he has a granite chin, all this stuff. If you want him to have that stuff, that's one thing. Does he have that stuff? We don't know. You said if he has an iron chin. Even if he has an iron chin, he hasn't fought the top guys. Even if he has an iron chin, he hasn't fought the top guys. He hasn't fought the top guys. So we really don't know. With Shakur, he's fought the top guys. So we know. It's much easier to, by data, look at Shakur and say, okay, Shakur is high level. Because he's fought the top guys in his division. He's fought in every division he's been in, and he's been in 3 so far. In the 2 before this one, in the 2 before lightweight at 135, he won the world title. The actual world title. Jerron Boots Ennis has yet to win a world title. Jerron Boots Ennis, as a matter of fact, let me pull this up real quick. Jerron Boots Ennis, let's switch picture in picture, has 31 fights. 31 fights. No world title. Let's look at Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, see where, do I have him here? Oh, I clicked on the... Shakur Stevenson has 20 fights. 20 fights. Basically, like what? What is that? Like 30-something percent, 30% less fights? And he's already won like 3 world titles. And when he fights the number 1 guys, the number 3 guys, the number 4 guys, the number 2 guys. When he fought Jamel Herring, he was ranked number 6 or 4. Jamel Herring was ranked number 2. When he fought Oscar Valdez, he was ranked number 2. Oscar Valdez was ranked number 1. Shakur Stevenson, with 20 fights, has already won 3 world titles. Jerron Boots Ennis, with 31 fights, has won no world titles. He's won no world titles. Please explain how you can come to the conclusion that Jerron Boots Ennis is better than Shakur when Shakur has fought better competition and still nets better data in terms of plus minus, in terms of his actual statistics on CompuBox, in terms of getting hit, not getting hit, hitting, not getting hit. He has historical data. He has like historically leading data while fighting better competition. Yet somehow, because Jerron Boots Ennis could Euro step or kind of switch around and do flashy stuff, he's somehow better. Oh, I'm sorry, because he could parry and he throws uppercuts. You guys get mesmerized by the flashiness, the same way people were you're saying is not a fair comparison to compare Nassim with Boots, right? But I remember the sentiment of Nassim back in the days when Nassim was killing it. He was unbeatable, flashy, amazing, super skillful because he was so flashy until he fought Marco Antonio Barrera. So I remember the sentiment. It's the same sentiment people have for Jerome Boots Ennis. It's the same sentiment. And again, I'm not saying that he's trash. I'm not saying that. Not by no stretch of the imagination am I saying that Jerome Boots Ennis is not a good fighter. Or am I saying that he's not good or he's trash or whatever. I'm not saying that. I enjoy watching Jerome Boots Ennis. I think he's really good. I just don't think he's proven to anyone that he's good. He's that good. Because at least with Shakur Stevenson, the numbers that he's putting them up against the most elite fighters of the division. He's putting it up against the most elite fighters of the division. All right, let me switch over real quick. Why is that still on? Jesus. All right, let's go over here real quick. All right, let's see. Boots just fighting IBF ranked guys. Karen was ranked like 7 and Villa was ranked 2. No, Villa was not ranked 2. In the IBF. Okay, in the IBF, yes. But overall, he wasn't ranked 2. He was ranked 10. He was ranked 10 overall. Was Avanesian in the top 10 when Bud fought him? I don't think so. But is that like I'm hoping that that's not like a counter argument, right? Because he's fought people within top 3, top 4, top 2. Like he's been fighting people like that, even if he fought Avanesian. If Boots had fought a top 2, a top 3, a top 4, and then also fought like, Avila, then it's like, okay, we know that he's good because he's doing these things with the top guys, but he hasn't. He hasn't. So I'm hoping that that's not like a rebuttal. I'm hoping. That was a counter argument. That was a serious question, man. My bad. Because okay. I'm just saying. I was just hoping it wasn't a rebuttal because it wouldn't work. It would actually not. It would fall flat, unfortunately. Let's see. So Shakur should be rewarded for not being disciplined and not making the right business move. He lost his belts on the scale, his ticket to fight Devin. He already has a ticket to fight Devin. But it's a really bad ticket. It's 25% of the revenue. That ticket is horrible. Had he had the belts, the WBO, which would mandate for Devin Haney to fight him, and they decided to go that route to force his hand or whatever, Devin Haney would have still offered him 25%. What would make Devin Haney not offer him 25%? He still would have offered him the same 25%. You still got to negotiate the fight. Once again, I don't agree with the fact that he missed weight or whatever. I don't agree with that. But, okay. Does him missing weight take away from his accolades? Does his missing weight take away from the fact that he beat Oscar Valdez for the WBC world title? Like he's still fighting and beating the best fighters. He made weight when he fought and won the WBC title. Now, this dude said, why isn't he negotiating? Detroit native, we don't know if they are or not. Because here's the thing. We are from the outside looking in. He could be negotiating. But we're from the outside looking in. We don't know if they aren't, if they sent a counter offer. He may have sent a counter offer, which is what it sounds like, and they probably said no. They said no, we're not giving you whatever this offer is. So in your opinion, what percentage Shakur deserves? I would say if Devin Haney came back with at least 35%, I think that would be a respectful offer for a Shakur Stevenson. Once again, we cannot divorce the ability of what they do in the ring and the business of it. Shakur is a good, marketable enough name to command at least 35%. At least 35%. I think 40% is literally right on the money. I think 40% is right on the money. 35% is like the lowest you could do, where it's disrespectful, but it's like, all right, it's disrespectful, but the risk reward, the turnover that I could get for this 35% is great enough. 25% is just like you're treating him less than you even treat a tune-up fight. He's less than a tune-up fight at 25%. So does Devin make offer or Bob Arum? No, Devin Haney is his own entity, especially now. He completed his 3-fight contract. He's deciding where he's going to fight next. So he's making an offer, and then they could do like a 1-fight deal contract or a 2-fight deal contract, whatever it is. That's probably part of the negotiations that we don't know about. If Bob Arum gets Haney to fight, it's probably like could be a 2-fight contract, right? And it's up to Haney because Haney's undisputed, so they'll figure it out, whatever. But it's Haney sending that to Bob because he doesn't work with Bob unless he agrees to the fight with the contract that stipulates that he's be in top rank for 2 more fights or whatever it is, and then he'll be within the top rank roster. But it's Devin Haney on his own sending that to Bob Arum, and Bob Arum relaying that to Shakur Stevenson. That's how it works right now because Devin Haney is a free agent. Shakur should get no less than 30% since that's what Devin got against Kambosos. Yeah, Devin got 30% against Kambosos. Kambosos was trying to duck Devin, in my opinion, politically, and that's what allowed him to give. That's what made him give him 30%, the same way Oscar gave Floyd Mayweather 30%. But Devin Haney bet on himself, and he fought the fight. But at least he got 30% because 25% is like, holy smokes, you really don't want this guy. You really want this guy to contemplate life before he signs this contract because 25% is incredibly low. It's insultingly low. And Shakur Stevenson, if you look at the business side of it, brings, like, if Devin Haney was to fight a no-name, they would get 30%. How much you want to bet if Devin Haney fights somebody of lower name caliber than Shakur Stevenson, that it will be higher than 25%? We could put money on it right now. If Devin Haney's next fight, it's a lower caliber fighter, the same way like Terrence Crawford, he just beat Sean Porter, but then he went and fought Adesanya. And I think he gave Adesanya 35%. Devin Haney could fight somebody else, right, for whatever reason or to stay busy. And I guarantee you it's going to be higher than 25%. Even if you ain't never heard about the person. Even if you ain't never heard about the person, I guarantee you it's going to be higher than 25%. So what did that tell you? That person is not more worthy of the undisputed belt than the person who's ranked number 3. The only other person who's more worthy is Lomachenko, who's ranked number 2. In terms of the WBC rankings. Shakur is ranked number 3. So no one else, if you look at it through the boxing perspective only, no one other than Loma is more deserving of the belt than Shakur. And if you look at it through a marketing perspective, probably there's a very few amount, like Tank, maybe, Loma, maybe. Tank, definitely. Loma, maybe. Right? It's very small. It's a very small pool. So if he picks somebody that you're like, huh? Really? Him? Who's that again? I bet you he gives him more than 25%. I bet you he gives him more than 25%. And then what do we say that? Then what do we say there when that happens? What do we say when that happens? Oh, he deserves it more than Shakur Stevenson? That's what we're going to say? He deserves it more than Shakur Stevenson because, Devin Haney got the right to want to fight who he wants to fight. What's going to be the excuse when that happens? Or is everybody just going to be quiet, just shh, don't even talk about it. Don't let nobody, we don't got to say this out loud. Just, keep it on the wraps. Let boxing scene put it on the bottom page or the purse split and all that. Let them talk about it there. Nobody got to bring up the split. Is that what's going to happen? Because I get 25% is so low that I'm guaranteeing that anybody, even a no-name, even a stay busy fighter, will get more money than Shakur Stevenson. Shakur doesn't offer Devin anything. Once again, you're looking at it through just the boxing, and you're not looking at it through the entire political boxing, everything put together. Shakur offers Devin Haney an additional name on his resume where he could say, look at who I beat. Like an additional legitimate name. If Devin Haney beats Shakur Stevenson, he could say, I beat Loma and I beat Shakur Stevenson. That's huge. But you guys want to look at it through, let me try to put as much blinders as possible so that I could just make a point. So my blinders is going to be, does he have an actual belt to give him? No. Okay, so he has nothing to offer him. Nobody has anything to offer Devin Haney at 135. Nobody. Because he won the belts. Nobody has anything to offer Devin Haney at 135, so he just shouldn't fight at 135. Because who's going to give him what? He has all the belts. Who's going to give him anything? There's nothing for him to get. So are you saying don't fight anybody at 135? If Tank comes out of nowhere and says, I want to fight Devin Haney, you going to come out the woodworks and be like, yo, Devin Haney, don't fight him. He got nothing to offer you. Shakur has additional legacy to offer Devin Haney. Beating Shakur is amazing for your resume. Shakur is a multi-divisional world champion. That's amazing for your resume. In some pound for pound list, he's on it. Number 10. In the lower end, but he's on it. So he'll be amazing for your resume. What, Cap? You making stuff up that didn't happen to get your point? What didn't happen to get your point across? Devin not fighting no name, so this is pointless. I'm not saying that he is or that he will. I'm saying if he does, I guarantee that the percentage will be more than what was offered to Shakur. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he did or he is or any of that stuff. I'm saying if he does, I guarantee you he's going to be more. I guarantee you he's going to be more. Devin don't even want to give Loma the rematch. See, with Lomachenko, I don't feel it was a close fight. I do believe that whoever would have won is an acceptable winner, right? So with Devin Haney winning the fight, to me, I could see how he could have won the fight. I could see how Lomachenko could have won the fight. It was that close. I don't think he necessarily has to give him a rematch. I would prefer for him to fight someone else, to be honest. But I could see how other people would want to see him do it again, because it was a close fight. But to me, it was close where it could have gone either way. So him getting the nod, I'm okay with it if he doesn't fight Lomachenko again. So how much did Devin get to fight Kambosos? What was the percentage? 30%. 30%. It's being reported, or people are the rumors are that, oh no, it wasn't 30%. It was 30%. It was 30%. Devin Haney versus Kambosos. One. Per split. See, I could pull it up here. Yep, right here. Let's switch to picture in picture real quick so I could just let you guys see it. Pay-per-view share was 70-30 in favor of Kambosos. A 70-30 split. 70-30. 70-30. You said, look at the business. Shakur had never been on pay-per-view, don't have a belt, and Shakur hasn't made the money Devin made. So besides a good fight, what else does he have? What else does he offer right now? What does anyone offer to Devin Haney? What does anyone else offer Devin Haney? Here's the thing. You can make that argument if Devin Haney ain't going to fight nobody ever again. You could go ahead and make that argument. But he's going to have to fight, right? He's young. He's going to fight multiple times over. So who else does he fight? Who's the alternative? Who's the alternative? Who's the alternative? Once you peel one or two layers behind these really flimsy arguments, you realize it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Because if you're saying that Shakur never been on pay-per-view, very few people have been on pay-per-view. Very few have been on pay-per-view. So since you have to be on pay-per-view, that gives them like barely anybody to fight. Maybe Tank, a Loma rematch at 135, and it's over. That's it. Even if he moves up to 140, Teofimo Lopez, that's it. So then what happens then? He retires? He don't have a belt. No one does. Because at 135, he has all the belts. So nobody has a belt. So what are you saying? What are you saying? It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Anyways, we have hit 8 o'clock. We're technically 1 minute away. Hold on. He did, but even if he didn't lose the belts on the scale, Devin could still lowball him. That's what I'm trying to say. So that don't really change, but that's what I'm trying to say. It won't change much. It won't change anything because he's still going to lowball him with the 25% anyways, and we would have been in the same situation we're in right now. Dog, Tank, Okay, that's what I said. Tank. Okay, cool. That's who Devin's trying to fight. Devin not trying to fight everybody else at 135. But then he won't fight nobody else after that. After he fight Tank, it's over, right? His career ends at Tank. He could go fight Tank. Go fight Tank. I would love to see him fight Tank. That would be entertaining. I would love to see him go up against Tank. Prince, peace out, brother. I'll see you in the next one. We back on Wednesday. And we're about to end right now. Don't duck what you're saying. What is it that you're saying? Don't duck this. I've already addressed this. I literally just talked about this. I don't understand. No, he's going to 140. Okay, and when he goes to 140, who is he going to fight? Who's he going to fight at 140? Who's he going to fight at 140 when he goes there? He moves up after Tank and fights who? Who does he fight? Did I ask this when Tank fought at 140? What? What does that have to do with it? What does that have to do with anything? I'm talking about your argument of why Shakur should not get an opportunity to fight Devin Haney. Your argument is right here, plain and simple. He's never been on pay-per-view. He doesn't have a belt. And he hasn't made the money that Devin Haney made. So he has nothing to offer, even though that's false. Because he does have something to offer, which is a resume building. It's just the same way why would Devin Haney fight JoJo Diaz? JoJo Diaz ain't never been on pay-per-view, ain't never done this, ain't never done that. But why he fought JoJo Diaz when he fought JoJo Diaz? Why he fought Jorge Linares? The reason he fighting those guys is because they're resume building. They're resume building fights. Therefore, he fights them. Having Shakur on your resume is super powerful. It's super powerful to say, I beat Shakur Stevenson. I was the first person to give a multi-divisional champion a loss. That's super powerful. So there is something to offer there. There's also intrigue, right? The world does want to also see that fight. So it's not like it's coming out of left field like he's this no-name. So you're gonna act like Devin wasn't trying to fight Ryan at the time that he fought JoJo and Linares. Okay, he was trying to fight them, but what does that have to do with your argument about why Shakur shouldn't fight Devin Haney and that he doesn't have anything to offer to Devin Haney? That's my point that I'm trying to make to you. It's not about did Devin Haney do it or did he not do it or did he have to deal with it? I'm trying to say that I'm trying to debate your question or your proposition of why Shakur should not fight Devin Haney or why he is not valuable enough to fight Devin Haney. My man, exactly. That's it. He's just finding something else to use as a red herring. Or what about that? Or what about this? This is clear cut and dry. Never been on pay-per-view. So the person that he fights, according to you, has to have been on pay-per-view, has to have a belt, and those are the two valuable things that they have to bring to the table. They have to be on pay-per-view and have a belt. If they're not on pay-per-view and they don't have a belt, then Devin Haney should not fight them. Right? So what are you going to say if Devin Haney fights somebody that isn't Tank at 135? That isn't Teofimo Lopez at 140? What are you going to say? There's nothing there just would be nothing to say. because it would go against this narrative right here. Because 25% is ridiculously low. Nobody has been offered 25%. When Oscar De La Hoya was trying to fight, did not want to fight Floyd Mayweather, he offered him 30% to duck him politically, and Floyd Mayweather took the 30. When Kambosos didn't want to fight Devin Haney, he offered him 30%, and Devin Haney took it to thwart him from ducking him. When Canelo fought Ryder, that no one knew who he was, he offered him 35%. When Terrence Crawford fought Avanesian and everybody was like, who's that? He offered him 30%. 25% is ridiculously low. Once again, you conveniently marriage the business side of everything when it's convenient to the argument that you're trying to propose against him fighting Shakur Stevenson. So, but you don't look at the business side or the money side when it comes to the livelihoods of the boxers, to the worths of the boxers themselves. So you just killed your own argument why Shakur don't take 25%, beat Devin, and fight Tank. What? How did I kill my own argument? I just said that people that get ducked politically, they're given 30%. And 25% is lower than 30%. When people are unknown fighters, when people are tune-up fighters, they're given 30%, 35%. How did I kill my own argument? I'm so confused. My argument is stating that 25% is such a ridiculously low number that even if you're doing a tune-up fight or a stay busy fight, you don't offer people 25%. And I'm telling you that if he fights someone else that's a stay busy fight, if he does that, not saying that he will do that, right? Like, I think everybody thinks that everything is an attack. No, not saying that he will do that. But if he indeed does that, I guarantee you that it'll be more than 25%. I guarantee you it'll be more than 25%. Yeah, Floyd took 30, and yes, he did do pay-per-view before Oscar offered him that. But Oscar offered him that not because of, you should get 30 because you were on pay-per-view. No, he did it because he didn't want to fight Floyd Mayweather. He wanted to be able to duck him off of the politically from the contract. But Floyd still took the fight. Same thing with Kambosos. That's what Kambosos did with Devin Haney. And when fighters, you don't even need to do, you're using this as an argument, right? But guess what? John Ryder ain't none of this stuff. Avanesian ain't none of this stuff. And they still was getting 30%. They still was getting 30%. That just goes to show, all I'm showing is when people are trying to duck you politically, they offer you 30%. That's how disrespectfully low 30% is on by itself. When people are fighting tune-up fights, they give them 30%. When people are fighting no names, they give them 30%. He offers Shakur 25%. You know that this is still their jobs, right? You know that we just like, oh man, come on, just fight, man, the belts and your career. This is still their jobs. This is still their livelihood. 25% is just too low. It's too low. In my opinion, 35% is respectable. That's where you're like, I respect you, but I'm also going to get the majority, the lion's share of this. Anyways, we got to go ahead and end it. We already about to hit 10 minutes above the time. Okay, my man said go look at Robson Fonseca versus Shakur Stevenson. All right, let me see what the purse split was for that. I'll be honest, I didn't check it, but let's see. Shakur versus per split. This is not breaking down the per split. Let me go to a different one that shows it. I'm not seeing anything that's reporting on the actual per split. I'm seeing that Shakur gave up money because he missed weight, but I'm not actually seeing the per split itself. I've gone to ESPN, I've gone to Fight Sports, I've gone to Bleacher Report. I do not see it. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, hold up, my fault. There ain't no pay-per-view revenue split because they didn't fight on pay-per-view. So there is no pay-per-view revenue split. So yeah, so it's not even the same. You can't even look at this in the same way that you could look at a Devin Haney versus Kambosos versus Loma or versus Shakur Stevenson on pay-per-view. Yeah, not even. This is like apples and oranges. Can't even look at it the same. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. Yeah, not the same. We're talking about pay-per-view revenue split. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about pay-per-view revenue split that's being offered. Yeah, when you split, you could split the actual purse, but what about the pay-per-view revenue split? Because that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the pay-per-view revenue split because that's what the conversation is coming from. We actually don't know the purse split itself. We don't know the actual price of how much they're going to get paid in guarantee. We're not looking at the guarantee money. We're looking at the pay-per-view share split between both Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. We're not looking at the guarantee money. So that's why it's not the same. Because when they fight, they're going to fight on pay-per-view. So they're going to have a pay-per-view revenue split. There wasn't a pay-per-view revenue split between Shakur Stevenson and Robson Fonseca. Plus, I can't even see exactly how much Robson. They don't even show exactly how much Robson Fonseca was offered in the purse split. It's in the purse split, the guaranteed money. They only show the fine that Shakur Stevenson had. That's it. That he had to give up $150,000. That's it. That's all they show. They're not showing. They don't show the actual amount. Anyways, we are 15 minutes over, so we're gonna go ahead and end the stream here. We could continue this conversation on Wednesday because we are live Mondays. You guys know Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern time. All you got to do is come through. 7 p.m. we'll be here for an hour, and sometimes we do overtime. Because just like we did right now, sometimes we do overtime. When it gets fun like this, when it gets debatey, we do a little bit. Sometimes we do like 15 minutes over. We do 10, 15 minutes over. But come back, Detroit native. Come back on Wednesday so we can go ahead and continue this debate. I'm having a blast. Listen, you think that Devin Haney shouldn't offer him that, or should offer him that, and he should just take it? I think that he should get a little bit more. But we could continue this conversation on Wednesday. Oh, we got Poe in the house. What's going on, brother? As you as well, boss. Come back, please. Please. All right, man. Until the next one, guys. Peace out. Thank you so much for showing up. Remember, and hit the like button on your way out, guys. That helps a lot. But every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss it. We gonna have a blast on Boxing Fanatico Live. We still building until we get to episode 50. That's our goal. We're trying to shoot for episode 50, and then we trying to push further than that. So let's grow the channel. Until the next one, guys. Peace out.